Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Backyard SportsCenter podcast. I am your host, Natastic28. Today, I am joined by Itaniium. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, feeling good. Just had a nice win to end my season. Finished 8-6. Wanted to avoid going 500, so happy, and it was a fun stream.
That's good. So, tell the people more about your backyard baseball playing. Anything you specifically do? I know this is your rookie season of the rBBL, and you also do some other backyard baseball streams.
Yep, I'm a speedrunner mainly. Just watching Chiz plays, the YouTuber. Just watching him play on YouTube, and then got the itch from watching him to start playing backyard baseball again. Because I'm sure, like many other people in the league, I played the game as a kid, and then yeah, so I wanted to play backyard baseball, but I'm a speedrunner as well. So I figured, like, how can I play this game competitively instead of just starting up seasons and playing for fun, winning the championship over and over. Oh, I'll try speedrunning. So yeah, and luckily there's leaderboards for the game on speedrun.com, and decided to go take some records.
So, what categories do you mainly run?
Mainly, I do both the season and pickup games, except yeah, pickup games are pretty competitive. There's a few people that go for those runs. Unfortunately, seasons though, I guess I have no competition. I guess I'm the only person crazy enough to try it because those runs take 4 hours, as opposed to pickup games. Those take 9.5 minutes, 15 minutes.
And is that for both 97, oh 01, and 03?
Oh yeah, I only do 01 and 03, but yeah, that's how it is for both of them. Same thing. Just yeah, I have some competition for pickup, but season play is just me. So free records, I guess.
Is there a category for the original?
Yeah, there is, but like I tried looking into it, playing it myself, but oh, I couldn't hit the ball out of the infield because I had to use scum. I normally don't use scum, so I don't know. I haven't really looked too far much into it myself, but like I think I was unable to get the ball out of the infield with like Ahmed or Mikey in the original, so that kind of discouraged me from really seriously playing that. I don't know if it's a skill thing or what version differences.
It might have been the with Scum. There was a bug that was causing it so that like if you hit it to left field, it would like a good percentage of the time it would like hit it foul, and a lot of the power ups are bugged and would do crazy things that they weren't supposed to be doing. So a lot of that is how just it was Scum was programmed, but no, that's been fixed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I heard about that. I was using like the scum version I found, I think on the Discord for that's to be used with the online play. So I'm not sure if that's like proper or if that works for that or if it's only set for online. But yeah, maybe that's the reason why.
The new online build has the Scum fix built into
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah, I should
So there should not be any issues about hitting to left field, and you'll be able to notice it right away.
I should revisit it.
Get more free world records.
I think the original it's a lot of competition. I think even people do season runs in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I would have finally have competition.
So how many world records do you currently hold right now?
On estimate, I'd say 10 to 15. I can look it up, but
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
yeah, I play this other game, Virtua Fighter, and it's kind of a dead game, so more free records, I guess.
So how many of those records would you say are from the backyard baseball games?
Let's see. I see 6 right here. Yep. Single game, hard difficulty 6 innings, single game 9 innings, season for 03, and then for 01, season mode, just a pickup game, and a category that I created myself because I recently became a mod, so kind of cheating, but it's regular season speed run and where you have to win every game.
Oh, I like that. I like that twist to it.
Yeah, it's like I wanted a run that was like season mode, but not 4 hours long. So I figured just regular season and then just win every game because that kind of takes some skill instead of losing on purpose, which I normally do in some of my season games in those runs.
Might have to try that one out. Is that for 01 or 03 or what?
But it's only an 01.
Only an 01.
Yeah, I'm only the mod for that game.
That's a shame. They should mod you for 03.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. That regular season category is only 2.5 hours long as opposed to a season which is 4 hours. So yeah, a little shorter, more manageable.
So with the winning, is it end at the regular end at like week 14?
Yeah, yeah,
So you don't have to play the playoffs. Just that only is the
right.
difference.
Yep.
So it's no playoffs, but you have to win every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Be interesting if there was a category where it was that you have to win every game, but also you have to do the postseason.
Oh yeah, that would be crazy. Every game would be a nail biter, especially the World Series where you face a stacked team.
And that would really suck. You get to the World Series, you've won every game, and then you lose in the World Series and you're instead.
Yeah, that's happened to me in the season mode. Like just where I just can't win, and losing World Series games means you got to play extra games. So that's pretty much run over, and that's happened to me.
Well, that's pretty cool that you do that. And I've watched a few of your runs. They're pretty entertaining. I like watching them.
Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, if I remember you being in the stream for one of my records. So I always say, yeah, we have a thing. I have a thing whenever you join my stream. I kind of forgot about it lately, but I used to tell
Yeah.
you whenever you joined my stream. Yep, you're here. I'm going to set a world record.
Yeah.
I think it's happened twice now.
Yeah, I'm your world record good luck
You're my
charm.
good luck
And
charm, I
Pepsi
guess.
is your rBBL good luck charm.
Yeah, he joined the stream today, and I got a win. So, yep, you guys are my good luck charms.
Yeah, I think that's really cool that you do that. Segueing into the rBBL, so how did you eventually hear about the rBBL and why did you decide to join this season?
I think I heard it being mentioned in the subreddit. Yeah, because I joined the subreddit. It's like, what is this rBBL thing? Why is it being talked about so much? What's this? It's like, oh, it's a league. And then I think I found the wiki page and learned a little bit more about it. It's like, hey, yeah, competitive backyard baseball, exactly what I want. Asked to join the Discord, got to play in the consolation as well as the June Joust. So I guess I'm a rookie, but I did get my feet wet a little before this year.
I forgot that you did the consolation tournament last season. Which team did you take over for?
The Rangers.
Oh, that was the team that had like the Cons and Pete Wheeler, right?
Yeah, that was a fun team.
That sounds like a fun team.
Yeah, I won one series in that, so that was pretty cool. Joining and winning a series right away.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Yeah, I remember you did the June Joust, and then this is your first time that you actually got to draft your own team and everything.
Yep.
And speaking of your draft, you kind of had the one of the most unique drafts of any team.
Yeah.
Because you drafted your 9 players, and then I think you traded away all 9 of those players.
I traded all but 2 of them. I only kept Ichiro, my first round pick, and Jason Kendall, who's like my 4th or 5th round pick. But yeah, everyone else got traded away.
So that was definitely something that was really interesting to me because I never I've seen like people make a couple trades here and there as far as like once they actually have their drafted team, not just the like draft slots or whatever, or field trades, but I've never seen anyone trade away like pretty much the entire team for a whole new team.
Yeah, like for my speed runs, I'm just used to using like, fast players. Just keeping it simple. I didn't really have any like idea of the nuances of rBBL, so I just figured, let's get fast players like Star Moonbeam and power hitters, so I can hit homers. But then one day I realized, like, my home field is paveway, and I should probably play to the strengths of my team. So it's like, oh man, I gotta make these trades. Also, I was listening to well, I guess I wanted to be kind of coy about this in case they're like a rival, but a rival podcast, I guess. They said that my team was going to give up like 20 runs a game. So I was like, oh, maybe I need to make some changes.
So you're listening to the old podcast, and then you decided to change your team.
Yep. That was one of the reasons. Although I will say that in my first scrim game with my original team, I had a lot of speedsters and power hitters. I did score like 27 runs, but it was, it's just scrim file, so it's not perfect. But I was swinging, yeah, I was swinging line drive with them anyway. So I figured like even with Ahmed, I was swinging line drives. So like maybe I should just get decent power hitters, not super strong power hitters. So had to decide to make some moves. And also, yeah, I play fantasy football. I make trades in that, so I guess that kind of factored in as well. I'm not afraid of sending out trade offers.
I think that's going to be one of the most memorial things about this season is just as far as what your team did and all the trades that you made. I don't think anyone's going to forget that for a while, just how all that came about.
Yeah, I guess I really transformed my team.
Yeah, that was really cool to see that. And one thing that's kind of interesting is that you made all these trades and then you for your home field more or less, and then your record this season doesn't really match up with what you did.
Yeah, I think I only have like 2 wins there. So yeah, my plan kind of backfired on me, but I guess yeah, I'm good on the road. Didn't mean to do that, but I guess it kind of worked out.
So now that you've played through the entire season and kind of looking back retrospectively, would you have still made those trades or would you have done anything differently or kept some of those players?
Uh, I'm happy with my team. I think it's just I gotta figure out how to hit line drives that pave way. Yeah, I'm not used to swinging line drives. So my speed runs, I either hit a home run or butt into an out. I'm not used to swinging line drives. I think. I mean, the season's over, but I have a few ideas, I guess, on what to do in the playoffs.
I think you might have to break out some of the grounder ball with your roster.
Yeah, I usually only do it with Ichiro, but I have Cliff Floyd hitting right behind him at second, so maybe I got to start doing it with him as well.
Because you have a lot of players that have above average speed, at least for like 6 players, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, maybe I should try with them. Like I figured like only Ichiro because of his, he's the fastest player on the team. So I do grounder ball with him, and then maybe Cliff Floyd because he's a 3 tier speed. But yeah, I have other players at the tier right below, so maybe I gotta go grounder ball with those people as well. Something to think about.
Tried in a couple scrim games.
Yeah, I gotta try it out. I haven't. Yeah, something to consider. I haven't really thought about that.
And looking back at some of your games this week, you came on strong, beating Crazy and Oops in your first 2 weeks. Beat Crazy 12-3, and you beat the Melonheads 10-8.
Oh yeah.
putting everyone on notice, the vets.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I had a good start to the season, I guess. Started out strong. Maybe everyone wasn't warmed up to their teams yet, and I was able to get ahead on them. Also, the game against Oops, I believe Artie Pimbleton had like 5, 6 RBIs because power ups. I think that won me that week because I only beat him by 2 points, 10-8, 10 run or 2 runs. So that was probably a factor.
That's one thing I noticed. You've been getting pretty lucky with getting power
Yeah,
ups.
like just like today, game I just played, got power up by swinging at a slow ball and then or slow mo, and then my power hitter Artie Pimbleton had aluminums. Got 2 chances to use them. Struck out the first time. Second time I hit a 3-run homer though.
And who are you gonna thank for all the lucky power ups?
Uh, I don't know. I guess my trades. I got a lot of arms. Got a lot of arms, and they can help me turn double plays. Because what I do is when a runner reaches base, just put all my arms in the infield, strong arm players in the infield, and hope they hit it on the ground.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Pepsi Boy.
Oh yeah, that too. Because that's true. He joined the stream. My offense before that, my offense was like doing terribly. And then I get the power up, and it's an aluminum. So yeah, I guess the Pepsi Boy effect.
Yeah, both of you made the playoffs. I thought it would have been really cool if both of you played each other in like the first round, but because of how it's structured where you can't play division people your first round,
Right.
that's not going to happen. But that would be a really intriguing matchup between the two rookies of the year.
Yeah, and I also probably have to thank him for me being in the playoffs as well because of those trades I made. I made the biggest trade I made was with him. 6-player deal, 3 for 3. But hey, it worked out for both of us. We're both in the playoffs.
And what was that trade?
It was, let me pull it up. Off the top of my head, I traded away Ahmed Khan, Star Moonbeam, and Jeff Conine for Cliff Floyd, Chipper Jones, and Lena Ing. Yeah, it really helped address my defensive issues. Otherwise, I'd be giving up 20 runs a game probably. But I think it helped him as well.
Definitely was more of a offense for defense trade.
Yeah, he got the offense. Like I got the defense. But yeah, I felt like I was trying to acquire Amir from him, but he was stonewalling me. And then I figured, okay, well, I'm not gonna get the combo of Ahmed and Amir, so I'll just give him Ahmed plus, and then I can improve my defense. And yeah, the offense, giving him an offensive team, I felt like it worked really well for his field. He plays at Scrapco, I believe. So the short left field porch.
Yep, Scrapco.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I had a bad draft. I didn't really have much of a draft since I traded away my drafted players, but yeah, that trade I guess really saved my season. Thank you, Pepsi Boy.
Yeah, the drafting is definitely a skill in this league, and there's a lot of. It's kind of like with fantasy football
Yeah.
and those kind of thing leagues too. Is like drafting is a big part of if you're gonna do well in this league.
Yep.
I thought you drafted a pretty good team, but I understand why you felt like you had to do that because of your field. But it's possible you might have overcompensated a little bit too much, but see how it goes in the playoffs with that. Um, you will be playing the Ura
Yeah, that
and
is one thing I'm kind of worried about my offense in the playoffs. So that I made the thing about overcompensating that could be true, very well true.
yeah. So you are the 3 seed in the National League playing the 1 seed in You're Green Monsters. They had 11-2 record, and you had finished with a 8-6 record on the year. Do you remember what week you played the Monsters?
Yep. I want to say it was in the first half. I got the schedule up right in front of me. Let me see if I can find it. Was it the first week 7? Yeah, I lost to him 9-6.
Oh, so that was a really close game. So
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's only was a 3-run differential, so it wasn't a blowout either direction. So could go either way. Two kind of defensive line drive focused teams. Yura arguably had the best defense of any team in the rBBL.
Yep. Heard a lot of discussions in the Discord about Yuria and his defensive team.
Yeah, the thing is that you can't really hit home runs at cement fields, so you can't. That's the tricky part about playing or going against them, especially in the first round, which is at our standard fields that we got selected by the wheel this season. So both matchups, home and away, are going to be at cement fields, cement gardens, and paveway. Which one was your home field?
I'm paveway.
Your paveway, and he's cement gardens.
Yeah, the mirror stadium's not exactly what I want to see after only winning 2 games at home this year, but I guess I got to overcome it. I got to figure it out.
So what are your kind of thoughts? I know like the National League was really crazy this season as far as a lot of teams really were kind of in the mix for the playoffs. I think like there was only like 2 teams that or 3 teams that were like completely out of it with like 2 weeks left.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like I only see 2 3-win teams. Everyone else has at least 6 wins. That's right in the playoff picture.
Yes, there was a lot of tough games, a lot of good matchups. Really came down to the last 2 weeks of the season. I think that gives us a good segue. I'm going to go over some of the matchups that happened in the National League as far as the past 2 weeks of week 13 and week 14. The going left to right. In week 13, the Twins beat the Cardinals. That's Toast's Twins beating Wizards Cardinals 13-9. I believe that was match of the week that week.
I can't remember. I mean, I probably watched it, but I can't remember.
I believe that was match of the week, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really close matchup. Toast barely squeaking by in that one. That was a huge game as far as playoffs were concerned. Toast has a lot of power hitters on his team, and with Xenon and Stan and Sonya, and I think he has Claudia, the Griffey clone. Like that team. Kind of slow, but they've been able to squeak into the playoffs, winning their last 2 weeks, and were able to get into the wild card spot and are going to be playing the Diamondbacks. Next game in week 13 was the Monsters putting up an offensive showcase in this one. 27-14 against the Melonheads. I think that is their highest scoring output of the season. I think most of their scores are within like 12 runs or less. 13 they had against the Twins in week 1, but it looks like
I'm seeing 15 for them in week 2.
Oh, they did score 15 at TCA in week 2. But other than that, that's still not like crazy amounts of runs. That's still a reasonable amount of runs to put up in a given week. Just to only have You could definitely tell they're a defensive focused team when most of their scores are within the 6 to 12 range. I see 3 different 9s and 2 11s just looking at the spreadsheet. So 9 to 11, they're hovering around that 10-run average per week.
Yeah.
Oops's Melonheads had a really good season. Put up a lot of Lindsay had a really good season, especially in their week 12 50 that they put up against Pepsi's Diamondbacks, which they scored 71 runs against the Diamondbacks defense or AI. That was a fun stream to watch. In the Discord just was like, is this real? Is this actually happening? I think Lindsay hit like 7 home runs and had like 20 RBIs or something ridiculous. I don't know if it was 20 RBIs or not, but I know it was a lot. It was at least 10. Next game was the Fishes and the Athletics. Fishes won that one 9-1. Believe that was the game that eliminated Arco, another rookie of this season. Many of you might know of Arco from the online league that he participated in the first 2 seasons of that, and then he made his rBBL debut this season. What did you think of Arco's season and his roster?
Let me pull up his roster, but I remember I faced him in match of the week early on this year, my only match of the week, and I lost. I think Tim Hudson had a big play, so I kind of get scarred whenever I think about Arco and his mighty Athletics. Yeah, Babe Ruth. That was his first round pick. Our custom, 120 power. That's a pretty awesome player to have.
Maybe you should use a Babe Ruth in your speedruns.
That would be nice. Home runs are out, so yeah, extra power would be really nice.
And you're a mod, so you can allow custom players.
I could, yeah. I'm a mod now, so I should probably think of some ways how I can abuse that power. Or maybe you guys can too. Just send me some messages if you have any ideas. If you want to increase activity, I guess. If you have something you want to try out, you could probably run it by me.
I know he had Vlad, Tim Hudson. I think he had Pizza Man.
Yep. 5 pros. Same amount as me on his team.
Do you think that since you had so many pro, do you think that was partially just being familiar with them that you wanted those on your team?
I think I just picked them because they had solid swing power. Like my team's swing power is like 70 to 80 mostly. Felt like that was good enough at Paveway, and those people happened to have the swing power I needed.
So, because I know a lot of times, like people that are just starting out, they'll try to draft the non-generic players because they're used to playing with them and playing with the generics. Since there's another 200 characters that you gotta learn.
Right.
I know some of them are clones, are
Yeah.
almost clones, so they're pretty similar. But there's players that are like Chico Papas or Perry Marks that are different.
Yeah, like those type of players are kind of hard for new players to learn about because yeah, you never use them. You really only get to learn about them once you see the spreadsheet and look at all the stats.
Mm-hmm. And that can kind of be a little bit overwhelming looking at all those different statistics.
Yeah, but I guess that's what makes this game so fun. Huge roster that the customs provide as opposed to just like the 50 or 60 whatever we have backyard kids and pros we have access to on default.
When you were a kid, did you ever think that you would know this much about this game? Like 15, 20 years later.
No, I figured like once Backyard Baseball 2003 came out and didn't have online play, like I was just stopped playing backyard games altogether. Once the next year's sports game back once next year's baseball game came out, just move on to that. Didn't think I'd be playing these games 20 years later, but here I am.
And having world records.
Oh yeah, yep, getting to set world records in them too.
Yeah, bringing up Pepsi Boy again. So this is a Week 13 game against the Yankees. Barn burner in this one, just barely squeaking it out, 23-21. Crazy had a really good season, just barely missed out in the playoffs. That's pretty painful.
Scoring 20 runs and losing, like, yeah, like especially like a team like mine, if that were to happen to me, because I have a defensive team, so I would be heartbroken. That's just brutal.
Yeah, if you score 20 runs, it's like, right, you got a decent shot of winning, most games. But like there's certain teams that you're playing against that you just know they have like an offensive roster or they're a really good offensive coach. So it's like that you had like this really amazing game, but you still might not win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepsi hit a lot of home runs, I believe. That one. Next game, we had the Brewers and the Marlins tiebreaker in this one. Consolation, Shrews winning this one based off of the multiplier. It was either the multiplier or the home bonus. Plus 12 12 plus to 12 minus. That's a rough way to lose too, just off of the home tiebreaker.
That's insane.
Shrewsbury has Peggy Heffernan, so that gives him some good luck going into the consolation tournament. Always the favorite to win that historically. He always seems like he has like pretty good second halves, and then he just goes into the consolation tournament and just destroys everyone.
Well, he had a strong end to this year. He won his last 3 games, one including me in week 12. So yeah, finishing strong. That is definitely the case here from him.
Yeah, a lot of 10 to 14 run games, 11, 12, 12, 14, 13. Yeah, a lot of 10 plus 10 to 15 run range. That's going to put you in the mix for if you can consistently do that. I think if he would have consistently done that throughout the entire season, there's a possibility he might have made the playoffs. But that's the rough thing is that sometimes it takes you a while to get, the gist of your team, and sometimes they're just too little too late. That's what happened with the Marlins. They beat the Wombats and Marco 11-3. Marco is the offer of the yarn. So make sure you check that out. And I heard that there was a sneak preview of their next article that was going to get posted pretty soon. Look forward to that whenever that comes out.
I think he released one before the start of the year. I remember reading that.
Those are pretty cool.
That was enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah, I always like reading Marco's articles and different things. They're pretty cool to see. The more content, the better is how I look at it.
I guess we can get it over with because we're speaking of Marco. But in week 13, you did play me, and he beat me.
Marco beat you?
Yes, he did. He beat me 5-2.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we can skip over that game.
It's been like 1 week since that game, and I only uploaded that video to my YouTube like a few hours ago. I've just been putting it off. I put all my rBBL games on my YouTube, but I've been putting it off because I was not happy with that loss.
Well, the game that you just played, you beat the Giants 10-6. We talked about that one with the aluminum power 3-run shot by Artie Pimpleton, pimping out with the aluminum power bat. You get Chad getting on base multiple times.
Yep, that was amazing. Number 8 hitter. Yeah, it's good to see him getting on base. I'm always happy when he reaches.
Week 14, the Diamondbacks put up another 20-plus game against the Athletics. Pepsi Boy is looking really strong going into the playoffs. Back-to-back 20-point games. It's going to be a tough out if you can put that many runs up. Yankees beat the Fishes, and that was the match of the week for Week 14. That was pretty entertaining to see that, even though the scores were low. Been a rivalry since last season. Both coaches are veterans and have played multiple seasons of the rBBL. And last season it was the first round of the playoffs, and I think it was came down to game number 3, and all 3 games were like really close games. So that was a good matchup. The Twins beat the Melonheads 17-14. Solidifying their spot as the wild card team. And then the Cardinals and the Monsters have not yet played as of this right now. So for the National League, the playoff matchups, best out of 3 are the Green Monsters and your Humongous Giants, and Pepsi's Diamondbacks, and Minnesota Twins of Toast. What are you kind of looking forward to as far as the playoffs, and what do you think is going to happen for the National League?
I guess as far as the Diamondbacks, I guess I'm glad that if I were to face Pepsi Boy in the second round, if I'm lucky enough to face him, that we do not play at Scrapco Field. He won't get that home field because with his power and that short left field porch, I was not looking forward to that, but that won't have to deal with that in the second round because we moved to neutral fields.
Yeah, Big City Stadium for the semifinals.
Yeah, the Twins. I faced the Twins earlier this year. I lost to them, but I don't really. It was so long ago. I don't really remember too much about that game. But yeah, how long ago was that? Should see if I can find it. No, I can't find it. Okay.
Twins 14-3 week 5, and that was at home, but you wouldn't be at home if you placed the Twins.
I guess
you'd be at Big City Stadium.
Yeah, my home record. Which brings me to Cement Gardens and Paveway. Those old fields we'll be playing on. So even though I have a bad record at home, I can't get away from home, apparently. And just going to have to figure it out. It's going to be tough. I lost to all these guys in the regular season, so I guess my expectations aren't too high, but just hope for the best.
So, if you had to give your predictions for the National League side of the bracket, what do you think is going to happen for this first round?
I say Uriah beats me. Good defensive team. Yeah, it's like, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get my line drives to land on his defense or string multiple hits together to score enough runs. So I think Uriah beats me. Diamondbacks Twins. I know Pepsi Boy's team. I gave him a third of his roster. Let me look up the Twins. Let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. I mean, they beat me pretty good. So I guess I put that game out of my memory. But I see 2 100 power hitters. Yeah, lots of players with power 80 or above, 175, and then their lowest power hitter is 49. Oof. Strong offensive team. But yeah, I think a strong offensive team like this could do well at Big City Stadium. The championship field. What's that field called again?
Super Colossal Dome.
The World Series. Super Colossal, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Twins.
You think the Twins are going to take round 1?
Yeah. Even though Pepsi will be able to play at Scrapco, I just feel this team has power too.
I think the Green Monsters are going to take your series. Sorry, Itaniium.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be I think that both of these series are going to go 3 games. I don't think there's going to be a sweep. But I do think the Monsters take this one, and I think that the Diamondbacks take this one. And it's kind of interesting because we got like the defensive matchup with you and Ura, and then we got the offensive matchup with Pepsi and Toast. So the next round is going to be really interesting to see which kind of style a team plays out, offensive or defensive,
Yeah.
in the National League Championship Series.
Yep. That's how it's gonna shape up to be. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna work out on that field. I feel like on a big city, those fences are kind of short, and a good defensive team's not going to be able to defend against homers. So I'm kind of worried about, like, if I were lucky enough to advance to the second round and the World Series, like how my defensive team is going to hold up there because you can't defend the long ball.
You have to go after the defense. That's what you got to do. You got to find a way to exploit the defense.
Yep. Look at Vistery's Team Viewer. Go find a kid to pick on and attack them.
It's a lot easier said than done, for sure.
Yeah.
So that sums up the National League. Gonna quickly go over to the American League and kind of go over some of the things that we talked about, or that in previous episodes, as far as the American League that I am in. Week 13, the Rangers upset the Royals. That ironically was Yura playing with them instead of T-Buzz, which he had some technical difficulties with that one.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the Discord.
Which is unfortunate, but got the win, so you can't complain too much, right?
Oh yeah. So I just feel bad for T-Boss.
Yeah, I feel bad, but at least he got the win, right? So
I get, yeah.
I mean, it makes it's not all that important, but it makes you feel a little bit better than that you won instead of lost, right?
Oh yeah.
Then the Orioles lost to the Hornets. Mav going down to Schlim in the battle of Milwaukee's best, as Schlim posted his trophy in the Discord. That was a fun one to see that.
Yeah, I saw that in the Discord. Battle of Milwaukee. Like, I just thought like they're from the area, but I'm just seeing now that they're both have Milwaukee Orioles, Milwaukee Hornets in their names. I didn't know it was possible to have two of the same ones.
Yeah, that the city doesn't, or the adjective doesn't matter.
I see.
You can have as many. They could all have the same adjective if you wanted to.
Ah.
But it's the team that has to be different.
Oh, okay.
So, fun fact for that. The Cubs beat the Bombers 17-0. Poor Bombers. Dante's Inferno not stopping the Cubs in that one.
Oof. Yeah.
Devil Rays and Jibbo / Big Dog being the Rockies 17-9. The Rockies have been doing a lot better than they did last season. Got a couple wins so far. Improved a whole lot from last season, but didn't get a single win and had a hard time beating the AI. Definitely big improvement in this one, especially with their offense. JY beating the Angels 14-7. And then last game of week 13 was my Braves beating Question Monkeys Pirates 17-7. Even though I scored 17 runs, that was a sad game since Rachel did not hit any home runs. So that was like the worst game of the season.
Did that clinch it for you? It's a week 13 late season win.
Yeah, that was the game that clinched the division for me. Or I don't remember. It was either that game or it was the week before that did it. One of the two. But
okay.
And then a lot of these games have not been finalized except for I beat JY 11-2. JY struggled pretty much. Rachel did hit 2 home runs, so making up for last week, finishing with 21 home runs in the season. Amazing season for her. That's the only thing that really mattered to me as far as that game was. I wanted to make sure that she got over 20 this season because I had Peggy last season and I ended at 19. I was like, I wanted 20 so bad. So I was fine. And it's the same player, just the name changed from 01 to 03. And then got the barn burner of this week, Bobby putting everyone on notice with a 30-piece. I was not expecting that, but
Wow.
everyone in the consolation tournament, look out for Bobby and Question Monkey. 23 to 30, putting everyone in the consolation tournament on blast with that one.
23 runs. Yeah.
So the American League standings ended with the Visery taking the AL West, Emory and the Cubs taking the Central, the Braves taking the East, and the Devil Rays of Jibbo taking the wild card. So again, because of if you're the wild card, you can't play the division winner in the first round of the playoffs. It is going to be the White Cubs of Emory and the Atlanta Braves of myself for the second consecutive season. Guess we'll have to find out if it has the same result as the previous season. What are your thoughts and predictions about this one?
Well, I don't really follow too much attention to the American League, unfortunately. But I was going to ask you, how do you feel? Do you think not having home field is going to be a big deal in your matchup?
I think that because I didn't really play at Cement, I don't think at all this season.
Oh, here we go.
That's going to be a challenge for my roster. It's very power and arm focused.
Right.
So, I mean, the arms defensively might help, but they are a little bit slower. So I'm kind of worried about defensively how it's going to fare. So I think that it's going to be a challenge to put up runs in Cement. And I'm probably going to have to score 15 to 20 runs to win. I think my best shot of winning is to win at home against Ekman. Because I know when Emory was on here a couple episodes ago, he had he was talking about the Pete boost. And that game came down to the last second. And I could have won that anyway, even with the Pete boost that he had. And said that if he didn't have the Pete boost, he probably wouldn't have put up as many runs as he did.
Yeah.
So it's possible that I could take this one. But if I had to, I would definitely give the edge to the reigning champion.
Very modest of you.
I think this might go to 3 games. Last season I got swept and it was pretty ugly. So I'm hoping that the games are at least a lot closer. The one nice thing is that last season we didn't have this season with the modified B file,
right,
where it removed all the buffs and the nerfs.
Yeah.
So I do think that I had some pretty bad nerfs to my AI that Emory exploited pretty well. Without having that, I think that it's going to be a lot closer matchup, but I do think that the Cubs take this one. For the second matchup, the Royals and the Devil Rays. I know Visery has been dreading playing against the Devil Rays for I don't know what reason. When you have all those 100 bats, does the other defense even matter?
I know.
When you can just hit home runs. Because the first game the games 1 and 3 are gonna be at parks, and the game 2 is gonna be at dirt yards, which you can hit home runs at dirt yards pretty easily, especially to the left field and down the right field line.
Yeah, pretty short fences.
So it's not like you can't hit home runs there. So I think as long as the Royals use their 100 bats and hit home runs, I think it's going to be really hard to stop them in any series. I think whoever plays them is going to have to put up 25 to 30 runs a game just to have any shot of it. Unless the Royals just have some games where they just can't hit. But I think it's going to come to I think it's the Royals' season to lose, and as far as the playoffs, just in general.
They put up very incredible offensive numbers this year. They're scary.
Yeah, they're very, very scary. And the defense is not bad either. The thing is, typically, if you have a really good offense, you typically have to sacrifice defense, and their defense is it's not like amazing, but it's kind of like it's still above average defense. You're not going to be able to like have easy places to exploit. Like at catcher, you can't like steal a bunch of things or do ground balls a lot of times. So there's not like a really easy way to exploit their defense.
Right.
So I think that the Royals are going to take that one, but Jibbo has a way of doing Jibbo things, so never can count out him out. But I would have to predict that the Royals are going to take this one. So I think that the next run is going to be Cubs and Royals. What do you think?
That should be that should be a really good one. I'm looking at the Double Rays roster. I see a lot of 80, 70s power hitter, 70 to 80 power hitters. So kind of like my team. I like that. But yeah, it's just mysteries, power hitters and offense. It's gonna be too much, I feel. Your series. Oh no. I'll go with what you said. No.
Now, what do you think? I don't care. I can. Yeah, I don't. What are you thinking of that series?
You got Sammy Sosa and Cheryl, third pick overall. It's a nice pick. Rachel LaBuena, 98 power. I guess I see why you want to hit homers with her because that's pretty much all she can do, or all you want her to do.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And historically, she hasn't been hitting that many home runs. Surprisingly, it's kind of like crazy with Chico or other players that you do really well with, and it's kind of like you're turned into one of my favorite players, and just kind of like the fandom of it.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at Emery's roster. I like it. Lots of good, solid players. I guess I gotta give it to Emery. He's just defending champion. Sorry.
The other thing about is that Emery just does not have a bad game. Like his bad game is like 12,
Huh.
which is like just incredible. The consistency of that.
His roster has a lot of speed. I like that.
I mean, even in the two losses, he scored 25 runs against the Royals. He put up a 50 against the Bombers at home, and the other loss was a 15 run output. So
Wow. Yeah, I'd be happy to score 15.
15's a good score. Yeah, in most games, I'm pretty happy to score 15 runs too. So
And to lose, yeah. Yeah, I wish I had this team at Paveway. He has Cement Fields as his home field. I wish I had his roster.
yeah, this definitely is a fun roster because you got Sally, you got Pete Wheeler,
Yeah, the speed.
Mikey, Dominic Hoskins, I think Veronica Lee. I forget who. I think you might have Sheila Basanti.
Yeah,
It's a solid roster for sure. But I think the Cubs and the Royals are destined to face each other. Heavyweights of the American League. Gonna be a fierce fight. But it's the rBBL, so you never know what's gonna happen. You also got the consolation tournament to look forward to as well. So that's should be really interesting to watch as well. So hopefully we'll have some fun matchups and hopefully all the playoff games will be at least recorded, so we'll be able to watch the replays of all of them. So a lot of amazing matchups to look forward to. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
oh, yeah. Just like the consolation. Do you have any like rookies in there? That's because this is where I got my start from. That was my first rBBL experience where I took over the Rangers last season. Yeah, are there any rookies?
No rookies like you, but Arco is playing in this one and Bobby is playing. So
Okay.
both of them are rookies, but they're not. They did the season too, so it wasn't like what you did last season where you took over for somebody.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, I wanted to see the new me, I guess. That's oh well.
I mean, there was a possibility of that happening, but I think that they just because of the split leagues and everything, they don't want to make it too confusing.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few people from the online league that have joined the Discord that got my eye on for next season to see how well they'll do. So
Oh yeah. I guess it could be rookies stepping in to the league, but although I consider myself, I guess they're probably rookies with an asterisk like me, because yeah, they're gonna have experience. They have experience from online, but should be cool to see.
A couple of the players that I'm looking forward to next season. I don't know if they're going to be playing or not, but Loba, Killer Bat, and Willigan are 3 players that I got my eye on to see if they sign up for next season that have a lot of experience. Loba was the champion of the online league last season.
Oh dang.
Yeah, a lot of it'll be really interesting to see who signs up for next season. See if they have any online transfers or to see if they want to take their chances at the rBBL version of the league. A lot of fun matchups and things to look forward to as far as backyard baseball is concerned. A lot of good content, a lot of good matchups, good leagues, fun to pay attention to, fun speed runs.
And we got the playoffs. That's gonna be fun.
Yep, playoffs. Well, if you have any speedrun questions or possibilities, here's your expert. So
Yeah, I guess if people want to ask questions about speedrunning, I'm in the Discord, or now a mod in Backyard Baseball 2001 for on speedrun.com, so you can message me on there as well.
So I think with that, unless you have anything else you want to say, I'm gonna wrap this up.
No, I have nothing to add. I mean, yeah, it's rookie year. Well, I am glad that I was placed in the National League East and didn't have to stress like those other teams at the end of the year fighting for the wild card spots or fighting for their division lives. Like, yeah, it was a fun first season. You guys really friendly, helpful, really really welcoming. I'm usually like a shy person, but yeah, I guess I feel comfortable talking in the Discord with you guys. You guys are really welcoming to this rookie. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the playoffs.
Looking forward to watching your games in the playoffs as well, and for the other matchups and the consolation tournament. That's going to do it for us this time, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.